everybody, and welcome back to the NLC. We're getting ready to go into our final game of the day. It's going to be Rate versus Ribbit. It's Guarp. I can't. I was told how to say it, but I'm just going to call him Guarp. I'm sorry, Guarp. Guarp. I'm going to get it wrong so much, unfortunately. Anyway, so we're getting into this final game. We've seen a lot of emphasis on the Carthus, not so much emphasis on actually no emphasis on Talia. A lot of emphasis on the things like the Gwen. Finally saw some Volibear, but like Viego still making his way through the picks and bans without getting shown up at all. Carthus showing up instead in his place. I'm gonna be interested to see, if this is a micro meta within Division 2 over Division 1, really.
Yeah, I mean, we got a short and precise answer, I guess, from Fetter. They said that no teams know how to punish the Cartus. I'm not sure if that's like the whole answer to it, right? But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, like Cartus has been popping off in our division. Maybe this is where LCK and LPL they have to look for next split. Like they have to see the Division 2. Cartus is OP. I mean, I think Snille said it in the first game, like in the interview, like the AP junglers are super strong. Obviously we've been seeing it two Carter's games now. No one getting punished. Even though he's like kind of messing up early, like dying once or twice, he's just able to full clear at some point in the game, and no one really takes control of the fact that Carlos is in the game. But now I'm kind of surprised to see that we actually have Jin and Rumble both banned. Not sure if that means. I don't know if
I mean, real mate, I
Guarp.
don't rate it.
Yeah, that it's gonna be nice to see if these bans are. I mean, I guess that's the luxury you have on blue side. You can kind of ban whatever because red side has
Hmm.
to ban all the OPs. But Seraphine being banned as well. I mean, this is gonna be a lot of OP picks open.
Yeah, there's a lot of very strong picks up here, so we'll see what the next pick's going to be. Obviously, Gwen taken away, understandable ban. Have a nice day. And then we move over to Rate to make their final ban. Do you just quickly take away the MF? So almost as if they're playing a patch behind, really, with some of those bans. See
Hmm.
what the final ban's going to be from the Froggies. The Seraphine is something that we have seen quite a lot of recently. It's meant to be very strong at the moment, so an understandable ban. Wukong being the final ban. So Talia is
Oh,
open again,
finally.
and it looks like it's instantly locked in by Rate. Now, I'm curious to see what the answer is because we've seen Vel'Koz as an answer, and I also very much where I've been drilled into me that Katarina is a counter to the Talia lane.
Yeah, that would be a nice way to end the day. After these delays, after we've been getting quite a bit tired, just wanting to get a show on the board. I would just love to see a Katarina lock in. Obviously, you can wish, you can dream. Probably not gonna happen. But the Graves actually being locked in. I'm just excited to see like maybe a bit of different champions. As you mentioned, we saw so much Gartus and like AP junglers. Now Talia. Not sure if this champion is still being flexed. I was on a 2 week break, so maybe it's mostly played in the mid now. I'm not really sure.
It's typically being played in the mid lane. That's where we've been seeing it the most. The Graves and the Ezreal getting locked in. Yeah, they're actually sticking with the Ezreal there for Fred Spaghetti. That is such a good name. Oh my god. Uh, as we move over to the other side, obviously the Tiller is technically flexible, can still be played in the jungle, but majority of the games we saw it over in Div 1, it was being played in the mid lane. I think it had one jungle game and then like 3 mid lane games across last week. But we're seeing another champion that's been banned away quite a lot today. The GP still very effective. Obviously, true damage on that trial by fire, great kind of trading, and it's he's shifted away from the crit build and gone back towards that more bruiser focused build. Before you could kind of pull off both depending on your matchup, but now it's typically just the Triforce and just go like the more bruisery GP and kind of lay off the Essence Reaver first. As much as I love the Essence Reaver first build, not the one you're seeing up in top lane GP. And then our final pickup here is going to be the Gnar, which has been a pretty common pickup as well into this GP. Again, kind of harking back towards Div 1. This feels like a more Div 1 draft than what we've seen in Div 2. These were two champions we saw in top lane all throughout the day, all throughout last week with the Gnar and the GP. The Talia obviously rearing its head here. And now I'm curious to see what the bans are going to be. I feel like the Vel'Koz is a really solid ban from Rate. I don't think they need to ban the Katarina as much as I'd like to see it. I think Vel'Koz is enough if you really want to deal with it. But then again, it depends whether or not this is going in the jungle or if Quixie can actually play the Vel'Koz into it. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean that's the downside of being on blue side, right? You're gonna have to show this Talia where she's going on the fourth pick, and yeah, I mean not surprised to see the Nor pick up as you mentioned, been such a not like a counter to GP, but just been a solid matchup there. Honestly, I mean, both they can kind of get their way going. Kind of forces. I mean, it's kind of a good GP blind pick as well because this forces the enemy to pick the top lane, or they would just ban like two good champions, and then GP would have a really good time. Not surprised to see the Lulu ban as well, as you mentioned, like Disenchant being super strong, especially with the likes of Jinx, who's you can just completely one-man the game if you have one of those champions in your team, and the Karma ban as well. I mean, just super like strong lane is being banned out. Obviously, the Esper Karma combo is really strong. The Jinx Lulu as well. So now it's kind of on up to both supports. So, like their pools are being pinched. It's this is where you can really shine and like make some weird pick work really.
I totally forgot that Swain is like mega broken this patch as
Oh
well.
yeah.
I totally forgot about that. It's so weird because like what's being played in Division 2 is just champs you wouldn't expect to be seeing on the patch right now. Victor's going to get picked up as the mid lane blind pick here potentially, depending on where this Talia goes. But now we're going to finally get an idea of what Rate are planning to do. I'm amazed that Guarp didn't actually just look to pick themselves up a support here and then get counter pick mid, but it looks like they kind of want to get a support that will focus on dealing with this whole team. And we're going to see what the final picks are going to be here as the clock is running down fairly low. There it is, the Yone getting locked into the mid lane. So it will be Talia in the jungle, and then the final pick will be this support. A lot of enchanters banned away. Obviously, the Renata as well, another great team fighting champion denied from the side of Rate. Curious to see if they just lean back towards something a bit more supportive. The TK is up, the Fresh is up. They do have, these peel heavy supports, but there are still a couple of enchanters left up and available. Or kind of take a mix of both and take that Rakan.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you as well. Like, why would you bother like banning two supports and then you don't pick the support on 4? Like, Rakan was open. There's like literally no counter to that champion right now. You do decide to pick the Victor as well, which gives a roller like the insane like option to counter pick the Joan, and now they can really try to snowball this mid matchup. It's I would be surprised to see like a really insane pick into Rakan. There's not really anything left, but Pike could be one of them that you don't want to blind pick. But this don't no don't.
They did. They went and did
Oh.
it, M-Test. I mean, I guess like when you were talking about the bans, they banned away two supports. They're not going to blind pick Rakan. Not with Ezreal. That's just asking to lose lane. But then they pick Fresh, and I'm sure you can now give me a rant about why that's losing lane.
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal with Thresh, obviously, you don't want to have like play with the land like use with Thresh now. You're playing so much with the lantern, and we don't really need that with Ezreal. I think that Rakan could actually be okay. Like Ezreal Rakan used to be such a like a safe lane to just pick, and you play for your mid and top, and that would be completely fine in this game if they had save their mid pick for last because they have Nara already. They have like strong laner. If they could, maybe they would have put the Talia mid. Then I'm not sure, but then they could like make a counter pick for that. The Vel'Koz was open as you mentioned, maybe something like this. But now they have Ezreal Thresh, and I'm really struggling to see where Guarp wants to play. They really have to shut down this GP, that's for sure, and make sure that Victor also stays alive in the mid. But I'm really confused. I see Wraith having such a like clear composition. They have the obviously like really strong mid jungle. They have like some skirmishing and scaling tools on both bot and top as well. And yeah, I would say I favor Wraith's draft way more than Gorp in this one. But I mean, you never know.
I mean, I agree with you on that, but you are right. You do never know. You could see how this game goes, but I think, just with the pure tools on a raw like tools perspective, Rate have definitely set themselves up for success here. Where Gurup, on the other hand, I feel like they've definitely given themselves a harder time. It's not like they can't win this game. It's not like they don't
Yeah.
have tools to be able to take over this game. But the Ezreal Fresh probably not going to be winning this lane. It's going to be very hard for the Fresh to actually really punish the likes of Velocity, so he's going to have to just go for Sin. Mid
Yeah.
lane, Victor versus Yone. I'm weirdly enough not massively familiar with this, even though I'm a mid lane player. I think it's okay for Victor, but you got the Talia, who's an incredibly powerful champion at the moment in the game, and if she gets a good gank off, she is going to absolutely screw you over. And then GP versus Gnar is a fairly even lane. They both kind of neutralize each other to an okay point, and then GP can just have impact on the map without having to leave top lane.
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure, right? There's have, I mean, there's having that GP ulti as well. If maybe the things goes to a swap, maybe Jinx like swap around for the Herald as well. The GP can just try to ult the bot wave if Gorp tries to make a cross up on the bot side. But yeah, I mean, honestly, honestly, I was listening to like 80% of what you were saying, but I was just kind of mind blown still how this trash pick happened. Like, if you ban 2 supports, you're just forcing yourself to pick support on 4. Maybe I mean, people can do whatever they want, right? But also putting your mid laner in a position like this where he has to blind pick, and then you counter pick the Rakan with Thresh, who is not even a counter. This is like a really good matchup for Raid still. It just, I'm not gonna talk about it more, but I'm gonna say, Nugget, if you forced Victor to play this game like this, then you can DM me on Twitter. We can have a chat. Maybe it's something I don't understand, but yeah, we're gonna see Galem half the top side, and actually, I think for the first time today, we're gonna see the junglers kind of pathing mirroring, or how to speak. They're gonna path to the opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
A little bit of a different start there to start it off as Fred Spaghetti throws out a Q, eats a feather in response to that. But I expect to see this rate lane's probably just going to be pushing. A lot of push pressure, a lot of power that they're going to have here. And I think Nugget and Fred Spaghetti are just going to have to accept that this lane is going to be pushing into them the whole time. I think mid lane can take a little bit before maybe level 3 is where Errol will start to be able to threaten Quixie. Top lane probably just going to be Grasp trading here. Well, Nolto the only one with Grasp, but going to be using his Grasp as much as possible. So kind of what we're expecting. I'm curious to see how the junglers are going to interact with the map, because I think it's fairly obvious how the lanes are going to go. I'm curious to see what the jungle's plans are. They're both starting on, like you said, the opposite side of the maps to each other. It means they won't be finding each other yet. So I'm curious to see what the game plan is for them and how they intend to kind of have impact on the map. Are they going to be playing objectives? Are they going to be playing gank heavy? Or are they just going to be mega farming and this game's going to go for 40 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about both D1 and also like a lot of other teams in other divisions as well, like D1 for example. We don't really know what's good and what's bad right now, and we don't know how the optimal way of playing the game is. So teams can kind of do whatever they want. That's why it's so fun to both watch and like cast, because you get to see so many different takes. And obviously we see 2 really different takes here in this one. I would be surprised if Talia and Rakan doesn't like make their way up to this mid lane like really fast. Like just basically on every timer that they have, try to go for forcing Quixie's flash. If Victor doesn't have a flash, it's just super easy to like re-gank that lane and keep snowballing that. If Quixie right now though, kind of chilling with his wave. His wave state is actually really good, so now right now cannot really get ganked, and Guarp's bot wave is gonna bounce. Maybe this is like something that Julbu can like abuse actually. Could maybe look to get a gank, but looks like he's just gonna recall after this full clean.
Yeah, looks like he's quite happy to just go for that cheeky recall. Get back onto the map as quick as possible. He's already picked the crab up while Galen wasn't actually able to do the same as Errol. Finally kind of trying to sort the wave state out, but Quixie holding it does lose a fair amount of health in response for that. This is kind of what Yone does, is he does have, you know, quite a lot of shove power, and sometimes a little bit to his own detriment if your enemy knows how to kind of set the lane up against you. And we're seeing actually Dolbu making his way over towards this mid, maybe to try and burn a flash, but most likely just to try and force this wave in to Quixie. But Quixie still holding fast here and keeping the wave away from the tower for as long as possible.
Yeah, and this is kind of what he has to do, right? Just make sure that Errol can just lane for free, make the game as annoying as possible. In that process though, Quixie's getting kind of low, doesn't have the grappling potion in this one, has the Doran's ring, and Errol is gonna, I mean, get a better half of that trade, but as I say that, Galem looking to have some impact on his mid.
Oh yeah, he is coming in. Errol has the dash charged up with that Mortal Steel. Slowed out by the blind as the flash comes down. Errol actually uses his clone. Now Jolbu needs to come in time, but there it is. First blood picked up. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I mean, like, this looks really easy, right? Errol trying to catch one more wave. I think he could have maybe just based. He has the TP, but he's not gonna lose as much. He's gonna be able to pick up most of this wave regardless, but yeah, I mean, that's what you really want to see on like such a farming heavy jungler like Graves. Is gonna get super far ahead in terms of items. Can keep his really tempo up now with his extra kill, and we actually see double cull actually from the Gnar and from the Jinx as well. These guys, maybe this is the Div 1
That's
game
a bad
that we
sign.
were looking for. Yeah,
That's an omen for a slow game.
Yeah, also actually the tier start from Ezreal as well. As you mentioned, they know that they're not gonna get prio in this lane probably like whatsoever, and which is kind of what annoys me as well, because it's not like Ezreal is useless in lane, but if you pair it up with Thresh, not the ideal. But wait, this Drake spawn is really alpha.
Oh, he's ignited. Oh, he is ignited. That is so rough. Jolbu goes down. Errol finds the knockup. They get the cannon barrage off. He catches him with the fate sealed. So support kills jungle, but mid kills support, and they get the dragon. Rate might have been a little messy, but I think they're going to be okay with that.
Yeah, I think they're going to be happy, right? I mean, Thresh getting the kill, not too shabby, and also getting a Drake. I mean, really respectable Drake start. Julbu getting so low as the Nugget can just flash ignite him and auto him once, and then he's just dead. Could have been a bit more cleaner. Maybe just get your bot prio first before you start objective. But Galen is gonna look to try to punish this by going onto Julbu's top side actually. So might not be too bad for Guarp after all.
Well, back to base. Or back to the map, everyone goes. Actually seeing that there's an invade coming in from Galen on to the blue side. I believe he's actually taking the blue buff right now as we speak. So keeping that tempo up over the Talia. Everybody's rotating over to make sure this blue does go over, and Galen maybe waiting for a little bit more. Jolbu needs to be careful because there is a whole bunch of people chasing him down. He was so ready for it.
Oh, he's still...
Wait, he walked up to that. Now the Chaos Storm connects in, they catch the snare, and that's going to be one dead Talia. Jolbu loses his life. No ultimate available on Errol, so he can't really punish here. He's trying to get the Mortal Steel charged up, but that's going to be all he wrote. And now Nolto, he's on the wrong side. Trial by Fire movement speed gets him out for now as he tries to jump away, but Nugget going to come in a great flash. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that was pixie perfect from Nolto. If he flashes like a bit early, then Viggo Mobson can slash after him, right, and get the kill. But I mean, Galen again, like really smart play there. They lose out on the initial one, then the Drake one, they lose. I mean, they trade one for one, but they also lose the Drake. But I mean, he has managed just instantly to just punish, and now he has 2 kills already. Gonna be able to base, pick up actually the Umbra Grave already. So this is gonna allow him to just not gonna clear still as fast as the Karthus, right? But it's gonna be able to, like, he's gonna be able to keep up his tempo a lot more now compared to Julbu, and now it's kind of up to Julbu to make some proactive happen, and they're already starting the Herald with this tempo that they got from dying.
Yeah, they also were able to rotate Sin over. Sin had kind of been left alone in lane for a while, and the Ezreal actually getting a farming lead or a farm lead over their counterpart. So Rate definitely needs to use this effectively. I assume it's probably going to go down in the mid lane, as Sin has to take the long and safe way around. So he loses out on quite a lot of farm here. And this is kind of the payoff of Velocity being so active on the map. Sin only gets 3 minions out of that, like, probably 8 to 9 minion wave, maybe even 11 minions there.
Yeah, and I was so surprised. I actually haven't watched like how the farm game was going on bot, but felt like the Sin was just having prior in the early stages of the game, and now he's just suddenly finding himself with 30 CS lead down. As you mentioned, right, because Velocity has been roaming a lot, but this has to mean that if I'm AD carry in this game and I'm like kind of forced to give up a lot of waves because we get the Herald, and I'm kind of forcing my team to say, hey, guys, you got the Herald now, just come put it on my lane, but not as easy because the plates are still like 5 plates, like still a full HP tower on the side of the Guarp.
Yeah, they are shoving in the wave now, and Jolbu in the area. You can see Nolto now got the cannon barrage up available, so if they do want to try and force bot, they have that tool to work with. No teleports from the top laners. There is a teleport for Quixie though, so I'll just have to be a little bit careful on that front. It looks like they are just going to go for a cheeky reset, get back onto the map with a couple of items in pocket. I'm curious to see where this Herald goes down, because it feels like you were saying, probably want to use it bot side because Sin had to give up quite a lot so the rest of the team could pull that off, and now actually looking like they're potentially setting up into the mid lane. Velocity just making his way over, and Quixie still able to hold the wave here. So, Rate, again, these waves just not really shoving in their favor constantly. And Sin once again being left on his lonesome on the bottom side of the map. Luckily, no one's there to punish other than Galen. So they're going to be okay with that as Jolbu wants to try and clear down. But now Galen has found Sin, flashed for flash, traded out. But look at the damage he's doing. But now he's been zapped. He's got the rocket in. Cannon barrage is there. Sin will say, thank you for the shutdown. I needed that.
Oh, Sin is completely outplaying Galen there. I mean, Galen being super cocky. Oh, is this going to go? No, okay. Oof. Yeah, I mean, Galen obviously knows he's strong, right? But going for that dive, especially now, as you mentioned, like the tower is dealing so much more damage. I think he didn't even expect that himself to die there, obviously. But Sin, as you mentioned, lost a couple of waves due to Rate getting the Herald, and now he gets a shutdown, and he has the call as well, gonna cash in like 22 CS. He's looking like suddenly he looks super comfortable for Sin. If they can get the Herald down here as well, he's gonna be able to have a really solid game. As I say that, Velocity gets caught.
Yeah, Velocity has to pop the ultimate, gets himself a 3-man knock-up, and he goes down to the True Shot Barrage and Galem's Auto. Support down. As Jolbul actually tries to cut Quixie off. They get the charge off, a bunch of plates in their pocket. But that is all they're going to be able to get. Rate quite happy with that, but the Dragon is up, and that's the scary point. Nulto catches out on to Vigo, as Vigo needs to run away because Nulto actually able to do a lot of damage to that Trial by Fire. He's going for the crit build, or at least partly crit build, because he has picked it up. Oh! Sin is robbing them blind!
Sin is just completely in the Galem's head right now. Wow, getting the shutdown onto him with only 1 kill and getting a Drake as well blindly, as you mentioned. What is this guy? What is this? What did this guy have for breakfast? What? Man.
He had nuggets.
And spaghetti maybe as well?
Nuggets and spaghetti.
the classic combo. That doesn't sound good at all, but I mean, if that helps you turn on the turbo mechanics, the turbo steel mechanics as well, I mean, I'm down for it, man.
That sounds like a kidney stone waiting to happen. I'm not gonna lie. Absolutely horrific meal.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, not something you would go for. I think I would say not even once probably, but I can respect it.
I'd try it for once.
I tried, yeah. Maybe with some ketchup as well, honestly. Then
Ketchup and spaghetti sounds horrific. Anyway, back to the action. Errol just trading onto Quixie. Velocity is honestly making Sin play this game so much harder.
Yeah, he's really finding himself in a lot of tough situations. He's going for the solo award mission. This is actually the classic. This is what I see every support do. They, if it works out, you know, you're kind of Hillsong, you're kind of 5-head, but it doesn't, you just look like a fool and you die, and then your team flames you. But yeah, we're 30 minutes in now. Wraith has 2 Drakes because of the fact that Sin is a god with his rocket, and not a sizable goalie for any team, but now we see the first mix fix coming in. The SS Reaver, as you mentioned, for Nulto. The Kraken Slayer for Sin as well. He cashed in on the call. And Fred Spaghetti actually super unlucky with his base timings. I hope he's able to pick up the SS Reaver now. He is actually, so that's nice for him. A roll it though.
Oh, catching him out of the face there. A good hook actually. Interrupt mid-seal. Jolbo gets him with the threaded volley onto the Unraveled Earth, into the knock-up. Errol gets his revenge. 2 kills in the mid. Yeah.
Picks a perfect Q there from Erole. I mean, Nuggets still had his flash, but there's no way he was getting out of that one when Erole is playing that perfectly. I mean, he gets 2 kills, as you mentioned. This is super huge from a champion like Jon, and now it feels like the game is... It's not falling apart for Guarp, but they have kind of no pressure anywhere. Sin is now, as you mentioned, been having such a difficult time in this lane because of the fact that Velocity has not been laning with him at all. Now he's just 1v1. He's actually level 10. Sound like on par with his solo laners, and he's just really chilling, man.
I mean, he's got the Kraken Slay, he's finished his cull up. He is sitting very pretty right now. Quite happy as Galen finds out Jolbul, tries to catch him with a seismic shove, and the True Shot Barrage threaded by Spaghetti. Yeah. Able to get that.
And yeah, I mean, that's the downside, I guess. Julbo has been finding himself as well, kind of similar to Velocity, finding himself in tough situations. The only difference is he's not playing Rakan, he's actually playing Talia, which is kind of mobile, right? But not as mobile as Rakan. Gonna result in the Herald. I was gonna say I hope they look to make some crossmap happen, but it's not as easy against the Ezreal. And also when you have one member down, right, it's kind of hard to make a play happen. But they're gonna try for it. Looks like Julbo is moving instantly to the bot side. Actually, the Hextake gate as well. Gonna be fast there. Yeah, no, not sure if they're gonna be able to pick up the full tower, but they're gonna try for something at least.
Yeah, looking like they are going to be able to steal this one away. The smite comes down. They're going to take away a tower and a bunch of camps as well. As Fred Spaghetti finds himself caught out, has to flash away. Errol looking to chase him. Not able to get the damage off in time. Just about. But this Herald now has to result in a tower to make it worth it for the side of Guarp.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, really clutch exhausted actually from Fred Spaghetti. Without that, he would have been dead for sure. But I mean, you see already that this Jon has a couple of kills under his belt. Even though I think he didn't even finish his mythic before that. I'm not sure, but he was dealing so much damage. If that Jinx Holder would have hit. Obviously, Fred Spaghetti would have been instantly dead. I really like though. Wait, Galen?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Jolbu is just being punished time and time again. The flash came out from Galen. Bit of an interesting one.
Yeah.
So at least I guess there's that.
Yeah, that was a styly flash. For sure not needed, but you never know. Maybe Julbo has insane mechanics, and yeah, I mean, it's actually, I was gonna say that, right? It looks like there is complete control of the game, but Galen has actually been fighting Julbo multiple times in his jungle, and this results now in actually getting the mid tower, but they're not done.
Yeah, they're not done. They're looking for the dive onto them. Sin puts the traps down. Is able to connect with them as the Cannon Barrage comes down. It's actually the Death's Daughter upgrade. Almost catches them with the Q. Vigo able to jump away. The rocket from downtown won't land. Sin chunked. Everybody chunked. But Errol is full health. Has got ultimate and shield both. He might be vibing a little bit here. They've also now got Jolbu coming in, who eats a hook and instantly gets himself chunked out. Jolbu is not having a fun time, but his team are going to tidy up. Fate has been sealed. A double kill picked up for the side of Errol as Vigo has to run away. Nuggets knocked up, flashes over the wall. Errol might chase for a little bit more. They've got the blast cone. The hook lands on 2-1. The slam comes down, and that might be the end of their GP, but the double man knockup's going to be pretty big here. Sin untouched and free firing away. He's excited. He finds a double kill. Right, absolutely run through the frogs.
They find the ace. Julbo, I mean, he's getting caught once again, but this time around he has his team with him. They just clean up after that. Looks super clean. I mean, the roller popping off completely. Sin getting the resets as well, and getting this third Rick as well. I mean, you spent disaster for Guarp. I thought Guarp had such a good position there. They find the hook onto Julbo, but as I mentioned, like, not nearly enough when Wraith's whole team is there, and now it's looking grim once again. It's not Mount Everest for Guarp just yet, but I mean, the Cloud, we have seen so many soul points being early today, and this is what you mentioned as well, like teams, usually what happens when the game changes a lot, you just kind of go back to the basics, you play for the objectives, and it's what we've been seeing, right? Obviously, Hextech Hextech Soul is the preferred other than Cloud one, so Wraith gonna be really happy about that one. They are now finishing up their second items. GP actually going for the carry build, then I assume, with this lethality.
Oh, he is going deep Duskblade. Yeah, I love it. This is the best build. This is the best build.
Approved by Heaprin. Nulto. That's if you don't win, I mean, I'm not sure if you're gonna win this game. It looks really good right now, but at least you have that. You got approved, so that's nice.
Absolutely. Oh, a bit of revenge. Jolbu finally gets his payback onto Galen, takes him down. 2 kills quickly picked up for Ray, and Ray definitely set up for success. Like you're saying, Hextech Soul, a Drake that I honestly really rate on this current patch. Jolbu on the Talia, making it work, and you've got a build which from Sin, which you're probably quite happy to see him test. It is the Phantom Dancer second coming in, and not that rapid fire cannon.
Yeah, no, that is for sure a better one. Sin though.
Cheeky hook. They're getting a whole bunch of damage off of Sin's tanking towers, so they can't really do more.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of damage from that tower. As you mentioned, like they buffed the damage. Was it only for tier 1, or was it like for every single tower? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I think it's every tower, but I could be wrong on that.
I mean, looks like look buffed. Sin took like 2 tower shots there, got like good chunk to half. But yeah, as you mentioned, super happy to see the PD instead of the rapid fire. Actually, rapid fire would have been a bit better this game, but still not as like.
There's no pleasing you, man.
No. Let me finish. Like, it would have been a bit better than in the last game. That rapid fire was horrible from on the Jinx on the last game, but this time around, obviously PD, like in 9 out of 10 times, is better. So pleased to see Sin going for that. Julbo though, going for this.
Oh, he's about to evolve. He's gonna live. No, he's not. Taken down. In comes Quixie though, and down goes the pirate. Easy pickup.
Yeah, that is just insane. Like, amount of damage. I mean, they do trade one for one, which is not too bad for Viggo Mopsen on this Gnar. Actually, this guy, I casted him in last split as well in Div 2. This guy was just in a best of 5 series. He was just blind picking Ornn on blue side, like first picking every single time it was open. Then he started to ban it. Then he picked Sion instead, and then when Sion was banned as well, he picked Gnar. This time around, I mean, he's looking comfortable. He actually has like the biggest CS lead on the side of a Guarp, and everyone else kind of looking sad at the moment in terms of farm. But yeah, I'm kind of looking at what Guarp has to do in this next couple of minutes. For sure, they have to deny this Drake that is coming up in 90 seconds. I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. They're gonna have to, for sure, get mid-prio of some sort, but it's just super hard when Raid can just pull the trigger on every single mid-wave if Guarp are there.
Oh, Errol. He's pretty strong right now. He's on that kind of big old Yone spike. Hits him with the Fate Seal. What happened to Gnar?
I thought it was the durability patch, not the one-shot patch. But yeah, Errol.
Yeah. What the hell? He's just dead.
Yeah, he didn't even have the Infinity Edge completed, but now he has. It's gonna be even worse for Viggo Mopsen. I feel like Guarp doesn't really have. We talked about how it's so important to have like the tools, right, to like force a fight, and right now Guarp, the only tool that they have is either Nugget finding some insane godly flank on this Thresh, but it's just kind of impossible to do on this stage, honestly, or Viggo Mopsen having a complete pop-off TP flank. Maybe in that little brush there on the bot side when this Drake comes up, but it's not gonna have the Mega Gnar as well. So yeah, it's just super hard to force when you don't have the tools and you're behind as well. It's just super rough to play against Raid right now.
Yeah, it's really, really rough. Now, Dragon spawning up for 25 seconds. Remember, this is Soul for Raids as Galen just loses a big old chunk. Errol has not got the Fate sealed up and available, so no ultimate for them to work with. Nugget flashes into Jawbo's face. Jawbo getting a whole bunch of additional damage off as there goes the seismic shove as Nugget will lose his life. Sin's excited, but he's inside the Chaos Storm. Quixie just about able to survive, but a double kill has been picked up in time. Galen catches a couple of members for the moment. He's also trying to get chased down by Nolto. In comes Fred. Spaghetti, though, and Sin remains untouched. Errol jumps in with a Fate seal as Fred Spaghetti is cooked. Down they go. An ace for the side of Rate and a soul.
Once again, they catch Julba out, but this time around, once again, his team is there and they just clean up after that. I mean, Sin getting one free reset just cleans the fight up after that. There's too many threats, man. Like, they have the Talia, which is not... Even though his 2-6 is not weak at all, they have Errol as well, popping completely off, and Jinx. I mean, they just have so many carries, man. It's super hard to deal with the side of Guarp. I mean, Nugget doing the only thing possible there for Guarp and just try to find the engage with his flash on Thresh. It doesn't look clean. They got one kill, but now they're gonna give 5 deaths and also the Nasher and the Soul Point as well. It's just, now it's Mount Everest, man. It's here.
Yeah, we're at Mount Targon, let's be real. Oh, that was close.
That was close. Yeah, Raid can be really comfortable on this one. I would... This where as a coach you have to keep being like criticizing your players, kind of see now how they play out this Nash, because let's be honest, probably they know that it's really slim chance that you're gonna lose this one. Even though you're playing as Ezreal and Victor, two champs that are scaling super well. You're playing against GP Talia, Jonas Jinx, you're just getting outscared at this point as well. And I just want to see them play like a clean Nasher, play maybe with at least two lanes, maybe play 3 lanes as well, and just try to close this game out. Or Guarp. They need Nugget Slash or a Miracle, I'm not sure, probably both. But it's gonna be, it's rough for them to even find like a pick. But maybe this is it? No.
They are looking for Viggo here, but Fred Spaghetti taken down by Jolbu. And they're continuing the chase onto Viggo. If they can find the knock up, the slows, maybe something, but they find a hook. Stopwatch is going to get used. Sin trying to get over the wall in time. Extra attack speed, remember, to work from this Soul, and that slow rate will finally lose their jungler. But look at the damage. A double barrel pop goes the Weasel. There's 2 members from the Froggies will fall, and now Viggo has to be so careful because this Hex Tech Soul and the slows coming in just means it's so easy to stick to them as they find another zap. Sin tanking the tower, though, does need to deal with this. He's excited. Down goes the Gnar, though. The stopwatch comes in time. Her velocity will make sure Sin cashes in on the kill. You were saying you want to see how cleanly they use this, Baron. They are using it incredibly cleanly as Nolto Prowler's Claws in to the pocket of Quixie. Quixie throws out the Chaos Storm in response. And the barrel, though, will be enough to chase this. Right! Gets the heal off. And Nolto shall survive.
Yeah. That's just well played by Raid. I mean, Julbaum is convinced at this point this guy is a decoy. And every time he dies, it feels like Guarp. They just all fall apart afterwards. I mean, Fred Spaghetti getting one tap there, doesn't really have his flash, and it's just not really looking strong at the moment. Sin picking up the Infinity Edge now as well. Not even sure, maybe even had it before that. And this is the luxury as well when you're this far ahead. You can just build whatever you want. He has a stopwatch, he has a chain vest as well. It's gonna be quite unkillable. And yeah, I mean the goal lead just speaks for themselves, right? Every single member on team side of Wraith are super far ahead of Guarp.
Yeah, they are incredibly fed right now as Nugget will eat the ultimate. He will eat everything. Cannon Barrage secures that he goes down as they're all on a absolute tear right now. Wraith set up for success. They got themselves a 14,000 gold lead, sorry.
Yeah.
And that seismic shove may just spell the end of Quixie. He's able to dodge away from some of the damage as Galen now has to be careful because he's been caught out. Errol gets himself a legendary kill on the response as Galen will go down and Errol just being a nuisance. The flash over the wall and Jolbu will secure another kill. In comes Vigo who tries to get the stun against the wall, but it won't be enough. Sin gets a double kill. 26 minutes on the clock. And Wraith are going to close this game out in style, in an absolutely accelerated fashion as Nugget is trying to survive. They jump onto the fountain to secure that last kill. Pad those stats further. The Nexus will go down to Wraith. And they just made this game look oh so easy.
Yes, hats off for Wraith there. I mean, I thought, honestly, Hiprin, I thought this game was going to be the longest one because we saw so many calls. We saw the tier start from SL as well. But, I mean, once Wraith went online, they never went offline. And, yeah, it was really clean performance, man.
I think the game sped up the moment they gave Sin 2 kills. And one of the first one of which being a shutdown. That game just went, oh, wait, Jinx is actually ahead of the curve. So we can play this game, like, really fast-paced now. And then you had, you had Jolbu just being unbelievably great bait, so Errol could just kill everyone. They just weren't ready for like how fed the Yoda and Jinx got, and that game just ran away from them. Wraith looked absolutely amazing there. Anyway, we're going to throw ourselves to a quick break before we wrap everything up. We are going to do our interview, so stick around for that one. We will see you in a moment.